Welcome to the show. We start today with a massive legal defeat for the Trump administration, maybe the key, maybe the only real policy achievement, if you can call it that, although it's been a disaster. The blanket tariffs have been struck down by a federal court. This goes back to Liberation Day. It is an incredibly ironic situation where what's bad for the Trump administration is good for global markets, which are rejoicing at this ruling. So let's talk about it step by step. These are the tariffs that Donald Trump unilaterally slapped on just about every foreign nation. A federal court has ruled these are illegal and these are outside of Donald Trump's authority as president. Now, these two findings against the law, outside of Trump's authority, very common findings with regard to what Donald Trump tries to do and does, regularly doing things that are outside of the law and outside of the authority of a president of the United States. Now, this is a ruling that doesn't just poke a couple of holes in Donald Trump's economic policy. This is obliterating, arguably, the central pillar of Donald Trump's second term agenda. And the kicker is that when you look at the three-judge panel that made this ruling, it's a Reagan-appointed judge, it's an Obama-appointed judge, and it is a judge appointed by Donald Trump himself. So that's how flimsy this was. Now, what happened? Donald Trump used emergency powers to justify skipping Congress, bypassing Congress altogether, and imposing what we might call 10+% tariffs. Now, some of them were triple-digit tariffs on just about every trading partner. He called it Liberation Day on April 2nd. The court says this is against the law. The administration said that trade deficits, which by the way have existed for 50 years, suddenly qualified the situation as a national emergency. That national emergency is what, according to Trump, justifies him bypassing Congress and saying tariffs on everybody. Court didn't buy it, not even close. And quoting from the ruling here, Trump's tariff orders, quote, exceed any authority granted to the president. And the IEEPA, that's the 1977 Emergency Powers Law that Trump cited in trying to do this, simply doesn't give him the right to blow up global trade on a whim. So the specifics of what this decision does: number one, it freezes the Liberation Day tariffs on just about every country. Number two, it freezes the additional tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada. And number three, it freezes Trump's attempt to single-handedly set global economic policy. Now, meanwhile, global markets are cheering. Stock markets immediately seeing futures rise, and stock markets around the world that were open on a different schedule immediately accelerate upwards. American businesses celebrated because the pause or the blocking of the tariffs, better said, gives them more business certainty with regard to what's to come. And for once, Democrats and some Republicans actually agreed. The blanket tariffs as implemented by Trump are this sort of reckless economic stunt. It has hit a wall. And even Donald Trump's fallback excuse on this, which is, well, Nixon used tariffs in the 70s, that also didn't work because back then Congress was at least partially involved. Trump tried to do this completely solo, as he always does. Now, the White House is absolutely furious. Trump's team says that unelected judges shouldn't be deciding this, but that's exactly what courts are for. The whole point of courts is get people who are allegedly outside the political fray, although they are still political nominees. So it's sort of complicated to say, well, unelected. Trump's own argument is it doesn't matter that Elon's unelected. It doesn't matter that the judges I pick are unelected because the people elected me, knowing that I get to bring in special advisors like Elon, or I get to nominate judges. So when it's convenient for Trump, he goes, no, no, no. Everyone I nominate is in a sense elected because I was elected to do what presidents do. In this case, he gets a ruling he doesn't like from a court and he goes, these are unelected judges. But that's what courts are for, stopping abuses of power, especially from a guy who thinks that declaring a trade deficit is the same as declaring war. So this case was brought by small businesses, crushed by the tariffs. It was backed by a dozen states, and Oregon's Attorney General really said it best: trade decisions can't be made on the president's whim. Now, here's the irony that Trump will never admit, that the people in the Trump White House will never admit. When Trump's economic policy is declared illegal, global markets rally. The Dow ticks up, the dollar stabilizes, businesses go, oh, what a relief. That is the free market saying Trump's tariffs are a disaster. And that's really the story here. This wasn't really a policy. This was an economic tantrum, global consequences, and it's being dismantled in court. The markets are relieved and the world is breathing a little easier. And once again, Donald Trump tried to govern like a dictator, and he got smacked down by the law and the Constitution and the judiciary. We'll see what the Supreme Court does next. So this is not the final word necessarily, but for now, it's a victory for law. It's a victory for global sanity, and it's a victory for every American who is sick of the possibility of paying more because of one man's ego. So we'll see what happens next, but a major, major loss for Donald Trump. People in my audience know I am a bit of a pastry connoisseur. Our sponsor, Wild Grain, is the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Wild Grain's boxes are customizable depending on what you like and prefer. They've got their classic variety box. They've launched the new gluten-free box. They have a plant-based box that's 100% vegan. And it just takes the hassle out of baking because all items bake from frozen in 25 minutes or less, nothing to clean up. My experience has been awesome. I love the croissants. I was having people over last week, half an hour before, preheat and throw them in the oven, and people love it. Definitely, the croissants are my favorite. The quality and the freshness of the items is extraordinary, and it is just so convenient. Go to wildgrain.com/Pacman to start your subscription and get $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box every month. The link is in the description.